Okay, so let's go over what happens in the locker room, shall we? Oh, the locker room. You gotta love the place. Adam. You see Adam walk in after seeing his performance against the same food woman that you fought before.
I'm gonna be eating popcorn. I'm gonna look at him and be like, it took you a lot longer than it should have. And then just turn away.
Oh, you were not talking. Your fight took like 15 rounds to actually get done.
Yeah,
Mine
but
took like
with...
6.
Yeah, but the one that I had with her only took 2. So.
Well, she also wasn't piloting the mech. Able to take my punches. And then she rebuilt the mech twice. I had to fight the mech 3 times.
You know, Sarah says, I'm getting a lot of really negative energy here. Let's just admit, we both hate that woman. You both hate that woman.
Well,
I really hate her other than the fact that she, fucking stabbed me.
I couldn't even use my quirk against her. It was very annoying.
You want to go and buy way too much food from her eventually, so we have to annoy the shit out of her?
Honestly?
From what he looks like, I don't think that he could afford that.
Well, you know what we could do instead, though,
okay.
Sarah says with a smile. We can pass a veto, forcing her to inspect every single piece of food that she manipulates and creates.
Goodness.
Stating that her quirk could damage the food and cause contamination.
Dear Lord.
I mean, technically, does it cause contamination?
They couldn't tell, that's the best part. That's why it's genius. He vibrates.
Oh, well, kid, I saw you out there putting that work. You got a 10 out of 10. You're basically to be in class 1A.
I am terrified.
You'll be alright.
Honestly, I thought they'd throw me out of the locker room as soon as I got in here, but no, they're just kind of leaving me in here.
Oh no, they can't do that, It's a publicity stunt, but they still have to, put up with the publicity part. What's more heroic than a kid with no power getting into the power school?
You know what? I'll be like...
Deku.
No. Ugh, don't say that. Do you hate me?
No, it's great.
He lives a very sad
life.
Just
like him. That's why he let you cook.
I do suppose I owe him. Although the lime green suit's really weird. He reaches into your pocket. How many of these things you got in there?
I got 5 more corn dogs and a burrito.
Motherfucker! How do you got so much food on you? You're lucky she didn't notice that.
Listen.
Oh, that would have been hilarious. She just stabs a corn dog through your heart.
Yeah, unlike me, you have to, you always have to keep your valuables on you. And what's more valuable than food?
That is some logic.
I could feel my class struggling not to go down.
I flashed $1,000 in front of his face.
I flashed 2,000.
Petty change.
I flashed you a ring worth $20,000.
Cool. My mom has the same one.
No, she does.
You probably
not.
actually recognize it. You probably recognize the brand, Seraphim. You recognize the brand?
Yeah, go ahead. What's the brand?
What's the brand, and what's it actually worth?
Oh, let me tell you, because I have a backstory on this ring. So, your mother probably does wear one of these frequently. This is called a Golden Roll ring. Golden Roll is a very, very expensive company, which is known for making rings that, like custom-made rings that interact with quirks in very specific ways. Specifically, you remember your mother had one made where every time she would use her quirk, if you remember, your quirks are separated. Yeah, by your parents. Your father has the light paddle. That's what he frequently made his weapon into, a paddle, by the way. Where she would sing. You remember, it actually tuned her voice. She made it so it would tune her voice when she sings, to different pitches. These things are usually worth a lot of money, and this one seems to be adapted to a quirk already, although you can't tell what quirk it is, but $20,000 is usually about right. Depending on what quirk it is, it could be more.
We're gonna look at his ring and then I'm just gonna go, oh yeah, I should probably ask for one of those for my birthday. Hey, thanks for reminding me about that.
Why?
Oh wait, yeah, you don't know what it does. Ha!
Duh. It was my mom's ring.
Oh.
Sarah says.
Yeah, that's probably not gonna be very helpful for you in your future.
What do you mean helpful? It's a ring.
Yep, don't worry about that.
Dad has one of
Oh.
those. Sarah
I'm
says.
gonna look at Sarah. I'm gonna look at Sarah and be like, dude, don't try and give him hope. We both know that he's not gonna be able to get one of those.
Me and you have the same rank.
Oh
You
boy.
are no more special than me.
There
Yeah,
we go.
but at the same time, I didn't know that you could woo the crowd. Otherwise, I probably would have been sitting up there with the quirkless wonder here.
Oh,
You know what they
boy.
say, alright? Improvise, adapt, overcome.
Oh, yeah, Sarah says. God, I can feel your egos clashing already. Stop docking, for the love of God.
Hey, alright.
The moment he says that, I'm gonna pull out a switchblade and point it at him and be like, the fuck you just say to me?
I get in the way
You-
of that.
Do you actually pull out like an actual switchblade, like your quirk, as in you
No,
pull, you create one?
Yeah, no, I just create one in my hand.
A switchblade?
I get in the way.
Oh boy, you two. He walks away. Remember your studies. By the way, the sun is called Sol.
I knew that, I just wasn't sure.
No, okay. He sits down. Damn, I want some All Might burger.
Oh, really? Would you settle for a corn dog?
No. I hate
I'm gonna
carnival
go over and
food.
find like the comfiest chair I can find that's facing towards the TV.
So
And
there
grab
is.
a bag of popcorn and just fucking eat it while watching these other people fail.
So there. I imagine you create. I imagine it's not like an actual bag of
Holy
popcorn.
shit, he's back.
Welcome back, Cole. We're gonna go on to what you see Goro do now. We've just been kind of going over the locker room scene. However, imagine you don't actually find a bag of popcorn in here. I imagine you create one out of light. And that's the popcorn you're eating, like an absolute asshole. So, you start going through this. You find a chair in the corner that's nice and padded, and Adam, Grayskull. You kind of sit down and start talking with Sarah. The dude who got mauled by dogs says, "Good work, both of you."
What's up with that guy?
Oh, he got mauled by dogs, Sarah says.
Oof.
Hey, by the way, I wanted to ask, what kind of dogs were those?
German Shepherds.
Ah, classic. Classic.
Attack dogs.
Surprised you didn't say, oh, I have one of those.
Nah,
No,
German,
My
German
family
Shepherds are
prefers
nice.
Rottweilers.
Really? I prefer Mastiffs myself, Sarah says.
They're good for guarding and stuff, but like, I don't know. I feel like Rottweilers just have that extra intimidation factor. It really helps keep like the riffraff off the property.
What about Danes? Danes are... whatever. He shakes his head. Who's going next? And that's when we see it.
All right, I'll be
Okay.
right back, homies.
Okay. Okay. Cole, are you ready for what happens with Goro?
Yes.
You are not. So, Mr. Dream says the following. Alrighty then, our next contestant. His quirk has no weaknesses and no name. He is simply called the White Devil. Let's see here. Oh, he's also given me he flips the paper. He's also given me a little bit of an announcement here to read. Okay. Oh god, what is this? Hailing from parts unknown, I present to you the Demon of White, the White Devil himself. Who the fuck wrote this? Sorry, kids. As Goro kicks down the door, and Maxman says, "Ooh, brother, that door is gonna need to be replaced, as that's the 9th person who's kicked it down. Somebody check the hinges." as Goro steps out, wearing his outfit. People are mostly silent. There's a couple whispers as Mr. Dream says, "Alright, no weaknesses, I'll just throw everything at you, good luck." As a hallway appears in front of Goro. A hallway of death. 4 machine gun turrets. 2 on the walls, 2 on the floor. 3 of those wire guys, the guys with like long wires for hands. And then in the very, very back, there's a 4th one who has a tranquilizer gun in his hands that he is loading. There's also a section of the floor here. All of the floor that leads up to the machine guns, about 50 feet in front of Goro, just leads to a pit of spikes. And Goro says, "A hallway. How about this? How about I get to the..." He kind of looks into the distance and notices, like, at the end of the hallway is the green circle, right? Behind a layer of glass. And he says, how about I touch that green circle in 12 seconds? Keep in mind, this hallway is 200 feet long.
Okay.
Mr. Dream obviously responds with a chuckle, and he says, "Oh yeah? I like to see you do that, demon."
Why do you call him a demon?
Because Goro's name that he gave is the White Devil. Alright. Okay, the turrets. And then I'll roll 60, 20. Okay. Ooh, okay, I got to re-roll 2 of those. My apologies, everybody. I didn't roll this before the recording session started. Okay, well, Goro goes first. It cries, natural 20. Did not expect that. Alright. With a flash, he pulls out a very strange blade. So he reaches towards his mask and chips off one of the tusks of his mask. If you guys remember, he's wearing a Hanya mask. He chips off one of the tusks of his mask, revealing that it's a sword. Not just any sword, it's a bone knife crafted from the jawbone of a goat. And he reels back, and he's going to use his quirk. You see this man basically... How do I explain this? Have you guys ever seen Fist of the North Star?
Yes.
You know how, like, when they use their abilities, there's like an echo of where they are?
Mm-hmm.
He does that backwards, so echoes of him repeat backwards 5 times.
Another good example of that would probably be Golden Wind Requiem against, yeah.
What's his name?
Diablo?
I think. It's not Diablo. Is it? It's been a while since I saw part 4, not 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So he reels this back, and he throws it. He will throw this jagged blade forwards. No, he actually... So 5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. 27. He throws it forwards. This lands in the guy's shoulder at the very end of the hallway. You see, as it travels, when it travels 60 feet forwards, another Goro grabs it and continues the throw. Like a clone. Eventually, it jams into the guy's shoulder. The guy with the tranquilizer gun, it jams into his shoulder, and he is taking... Okay. Goro actually has a very competent quirk. 23 damage. He is unconscious.
Oh my gosh.
So he wings this, digs it into the guy's shoulder, grabs it out of his shoulder, and pulls it up. He pulls it up, not backwards and up. No, he pulls it just straight up out of the guy's shoulder. This causes blood to go everywhere as the man falls unconscious at -3 hit points, and his brothers look back. They look very confused, as he was suddenly, 6 seconds ago, standing at the end of that. The crowd, for the
How long
third...
was the hallway?
220 feet long. 220
This
feet.
motherfucker.
And yeah. However, you guys watching, you're not really caring about the entertainment. You're trying to analyze this, I assume, correct?
Of course.
You noticed something.
Meanwhile, there's me just in the corner eating my popcorn, like, oh fuck, that was cool.
Oh, fuck, that guy's totally bleeding to death.
Oh shit, I think he might be dead. Is he dead?
Yeah.
But you notice that your friend here is a little bit wonky. He's like glitching around, like he's a computer glitch. He's glitching around for a second before he goes back to normal. All the other guys like turn to him and they just start to sprint towards him. They start to sprint towards him. They are the closest one is 100 feet away, so he is now 70 feet away. No, actually he's just gonna sprint. So he's gonna move his full 60 feet. He's now 40 feet away. And Goro smiles and will just attack the glass. He will just attack the glass. He needs to break this glass to make a point, so he's going to use the rest of his stamina. He hits the glass. He actually does get advantage, so... 1d20. He hits the glass. Wow, that was unfortunate. And then... it's almost a guarantee, but he could roll really low. So when he does this, everybody at home watching and everyone else, when he throws this, and that tink happens, he teleports, moves, rips it out of the guy's shoulder, stabs the glass, and the glass is almost guaranteed to break, but you can tell he's almost not even there anymore. You can tell that Goro here is basically phasing out of existence as he does this. 50 damage. So yeah, he shatters it. And moves into the circle.
50 damage.
Okay, I think I figured out what he's gonna do.
The crowd goes fucking insane. They cannot believe he actually just did that in exactly 12 seconds. Unfortunately, he only got one question correct. He gets a 9 out of 10.
That's what I thought.
He gets a 9. Not a perfect score, but he gets a 9 out of 10.
Wrong of body, dumb of ass.
Cole, how do you feel about this? As you watch this on screen, what is your reaction? Because you met this guy, if you remember.
Honestly, Cole notes it, and he's like, pretty interesting quirk. So there's multiple of him? Like multiple of him, popped out of himself.
Yeah, basically. So he created,
it's not
echoes
cloning.
of himself. It's not cloning, because the clones, basically disappear instantly.
Well, he did mention something about clairvoyance to him. So perhaps he's reading the future?
Perhaps. Or maybe putting himself there.
Maybe. But that's pretty crazy. If he's putting himself in multiple futures at once.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's, everyone at home won't get this, but right now, just some random dude pops out of a portal and says, "Is that an ability that manipulates time?"
Oh, no. It's this guy.
Yeah, totally.
This guy again.
Bang just comes out of nowhere. No, that does not happen.
Bon Fang appears. You'll never know who that is until we play.
Hey, you don't know that. I might get another group to play the Bleach campaign.
Hey, until we play the sequel campaign of Bleach, even then,
He'll never be as
unlikely to pop
iconic as
up.
he was in ours.
Exactly. He's so unlikely to pop up. Anyways.
Yeah, there's a whole
Very
story you guys
specific
hear.
things have very, very specific things have to happen.
That is true.
In that campaign to make him relevant.
Where was I? Oh, yes. So, Goro gets a 9, however, unfortunately, he got a 1, so difficult.
You only got one question, right?
Difficult. All right. Time to make or break this. You know who's going next?
I believe it is my friend group.
First one up is David.
Oh boy. Come on, David. You got this, bud.
Y'all better be ready for this. He walks out. As he goes to take his test, he says that. So about 40 minutes pass. You guys see the next 2 locker rooms get cleared out, right? A whole bunch of contestants are here. You run past about 230 contestants. Right.
Are there any since like I'm seeing basically every test like before mine, like how many people are going after me?
After you till the very end?
Yeah.
36.
36.
No, sorry,
how many
26.
26. How many go before me? Like, how many have went before me?
How many are going before you in the entire thing?
Yeah.
In today, 590.
Okay.
Goodness.
During that time, do I notice any patterns in what the AI makes?
Yes, you do.
Because we've seen, like, just from the ones you've shown to us, the lunch lady and the spinner guys and guns, like, multiple times.
Yeah, so that seems to be a common thing. The AI likes putting those guys against you, right? What did you say, Adam?
Okay.
Set it back.
Okay. So the AI
Whatever.
clearly likes putting... Nothing, we're just talking... our friend Cole here is just asking me a question about what the AI is doing. The AI likes putting specifically guns. It seems to use a gun or some sort of like trap in every single variant. Even in variants that are just a one-on-one fight like these two that both Adams went through.
Yeah.
It seems like it's just a big variant thing, and no matter what the variant is, there's usually some kind of trap. Holes are very likely. Usually spikes of some sort. It also seems to give whatever person, like, if there's a quirk user fighting against the student, the contestant, it'll usually give them things for, their quirk to be able to use.
Okay.
Like the lunch lady, it usually gives her food. It usually puts food in the arena for her.
Has there been any like one-off things that have like happened that are like very like infrequent?
You're actually about to see one with David right now.
Oh, okay.
So, as David walks out, he is introduced as... Okay, don't laugh at this hero name. It's some Steven level stuff. He's introduced as the Great Mystic Mime. His quirk...
Interesting.
And from the distance, you just hear me yell, "Fucking lame!"
Okay.
That locker room is very loud with him in it. So...
Not everybody can have Mr. Money as their hero name.
Money, 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 money.
$dollar bills, y'all.
So, here's what's up. Okay, let's go over this. The full thing. He comes out, he introduces himself to that, or just Mime. Dream introduces him as Mime, and David steps out. Walking forwards, he looks around, looks at the crowd, and says, "Oh, before we begin, I actually have something for, Dream here. It's a special gift. I told some of the guards to bring it to you now." As you see, like, guards, like, kind of floating over on a glass disc, floating over to the, the glass platform above it, with a big-ass box and a note attached to it. And...
Now Cole takes an interest in this. David, what are you up to?
And...
It's a very weird assassination attempt.
David says, "Please read the note fully, Dream." Out loud. David nods as Dream takes the note off, opens up the box, and it is like a brass wheel. It's like a big-ass brass wheel with, like, chippings and water damage on it. And then also inside of a smaller box inside is a smaller, like, tiny wheel about the size of his hand. And there's, like, 3 stacks of paper inside, which are documents that you can't quite see. And Dream says, the note says the following. Hello, Mr. Dream. I would like to give you this gift. I spent 3 months getting dredge crew permissions to explore and retrieve the long since decayed wheel of the Titanic.
Jesus Christ.
I have it here. I would like you to have it. Dream looks at the wheel. The crowd fucking laughs. The crowd fucking dies of laughter. Also, here is the USS California's wheel sunk in Pearl Harbor in 2118 as part of a test. Okay, he says, holding both wheels. So, you think you're a funny guy, Dream says. How the hell did you get that? That has to be illegal, he says, digging through the papers. Oh god, these are all certifications.
Bruh.
Oh god, these are all dredge certifications. This is legal. The crowd is dying at this point. The crowd is dying. And Maximan
This
says...
motherfucker just got a really high score.
Maximan says, now hold on a minute. How do we know you did this? And how does this involve anything? Anyone can buy a submarine and go down there. Well, now hold on a minute, David says. Because David looks up to the left and winks at a guard, and the guard opens up his phone, and you see on the blimp, YouTube is pulled up. And he says,
Bro bribed these guards, man.
I have a full documentary series on myself, underwater, going to and from the Titanic using a high-tech steel camera used on submarines. It's a 4-hour-long documentary.
Jesus Christ, dude.
This is the weirdest way to use this quirk in existence. This is not the assignment.
Bro,
This is-
no, he's not doing the assignment anymore. He's literally just on fucking creative and doing whatever the fuck he wants.
He's on creative mode.
You know what he did? The teacher sent out like, okay, here is your exam. It's a math test, and here is your exam. You have 30 minutes. He takes the 30-minute test and he hands in the math test. But he actually didn't fill in any of the questions. He actually just drew the Mona Lisa on the back of it.
Okay.
Full replica with paint. So Dream kind of looks at this, and you can tell he's flabbergasted, but he gathers
Task
himself pretty
failed
quickly.
successfully.
And he says, well, hold on, you still got to go through an obstacle course here. We're not voting yet until he touches that green circle. Well, David says, putting his hands together, I'd actually like you to test me in my own way. How about you do me a favor, and I would bet you your gun that you use, that you cannot do any endurance challenge that I can't take.
Oh boy.
Dream looks at him and says, what is your quirk? He says, pulling it up. Okay, you didn't put it down. Alright. You think you can beat me? I won't bet you this gun, but I will bet you a personal recommendation. If you can beat my endurance test. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put this man I'm going to put this man in a black box with a treadmill going at 100 miles per hour, surrounded by boiling hot water. Upside down. And if he stops walking for even a minute on that treadmill, I'm going to personally disqualify him. And now, you know what? I'll put the pressure of a nuclear reactor in there as well. This kid's being a little bit of an egotist.
Oh, he's not ready. He's not ready, is he?
David is sealed inside of a box in this corner of the arena.
So how long does he have to
Jesus
run
Christ.
for?
Until the end of the competition. In 3 hours.
Lamau, that's
they're
light
putting
work.
like other people through while he's running in the corner.
Yep.
Bruh.
David is he just jumps into the water. You can see this water is compressed so deep that it actually takes a while for it to start boiling, and then he's sealed in a black box, and it starts running. And Dream says, we'll see about our little egotist here if he's able to withstand that. Alright. Next up. Alright. Sorry, we had a little bit of a technical issue with my sheets and my character sheets and for everybody. Couldn't find a name. Alright. Cole. Carson is up. Now, her quirk ain't the best for this. But she isn't going to use it.
Yes. Her quirk is touchless to the audience, just so the audience knows. She basically has forms of intangibility.
Yes. So she's thinking how she's going to do this, and there's only one way to truly do something like this. So let me explain her quirk fully. I've been keeping quirks kind of on the down low to like reveal them after the competition in roleplay. However, as Cole has just said, she can become intangible. You can probably guess what David's is by the fact that he walked to the Titanic and back. Well, he didn't quite walk there. He got a boat and then sunk himself and went back. So
he got in a boat,
yes,
piloted it all the way to the fucking Titanic,
yes.
then proceeded to just drill a hole in it?
No, he jumped off of the boat into the water, sunk for about 2 hours, hit the bottom, walked to the side helm of the Titanic, pulled it off of there, which, keep in mind, the Titanic at this point is basically just a pile of dust with metal pieces because the metal wouldn't degrade. Pulled it off of there, and then used used a long-ass piece of fucking wire, deep-sea fishing wire specifically, angler wire as it's called, to pull himself back up. It took him about 2 months to get the dredge crew, like the actual certification to do this. There you go. If you wanted to know.
He was really banking on Mr. Dream allowing this.
Yes, he
to
was.
Even sway his thought process.
That's exactly why he did all this, specifically so it would sway
He's
him.
gonna get like a 5 though.
He's gonna get a 5, but that doesn't matter. He still gets in.
As long as he passes.
For all of you watching, David has
Not very exciting.
no combat capabilities whatsoever. He basically has a peasant stat block when it comes to combat. So, Carson. Starting out, she comes out as her hero name. She doesn't have one. She just calls herself Carson. He announces this. Dream announces this. Carson! She comes out with her arms crossed, looking around. She doesn't kick down the door, she simply opens it and closes it behind her. You can hear it lock. And you can tell she's thinking. She's thinking. As Dream says, "Alright, little lady. Your issue is lead and liquid. Very well. Lead and liquid," he thinks, as he snaps his fingers, and a giant fish dome, like a giant lead ball, appears around her. A huge circular one, 900 feet across. Not even 900 feet. It's actually bigger than the stadium itself. There's like two big things, and they're incredibly thin. They're about as thin as a piece of paper. You can almost see through them. There's like one large dome and one smaller dome that's surrounding like the arena, with the exception of David's box. And as it's like cut out, basically, there's a cutout for David's box. Inside of here is a large dark maze. The camera on the blimp turns night vision on as she is trapped inside of a maze that is slowly filling with water, with sentry guns pointed at her. The AI likes sentry guns, apparently. Alright, she's got to make some rolls here. She may pass, she may fail. So it'll be 2. Okay. First one is a fail. So let's go over what I'm rolling, shall we? To get through each level of this with her quirk, so she has 3 uses of her quirk she can become intangible for. Each one of these actually negates an attack completely. However, she needs to make 6 saving throws to get up here to avoid the turrets and to quickly move through here, as well as 2 con saves so she can keep sprinting because I'll be using chase mechanics. The con saves are what's going to really fuck her here. 2 of those pass, 2 of those fail. She has level 2 exhaustion.
Oh.
And then... Okay. So, allow me to describe this. The first turret immediately points towards her, and she has to get to the end of a very long hallway, then take a left, and then keep going through this maze. The first turret shoots at her, but she becomes intangible. When she becomes intangible, it's not like Danny Phantom. It's not like that. What this looks like is that she becomes an outline. Imagine the outline on some of our artwork right over here. Take Cole's outline for a second. She becomes that outline. She basically becomes a black line in the air that things pass through. And that's exactly what happens. She dodges these bullets like that, and she begins to run. This girl is not very physically fit. She is thin and very meek. We don't get a good look at her face, but I have described her before on the previous episode, as well as David, but I'll just specifically describe what she is wearing. She's wearing something very particular. She is wearing a gray hoodie with jeans and running shoes. She wasn't, you notice, Cole, that she wasn't wearing that at first. That was not her original outfit. And she runs through here. Getting through here pretty quickly, she begins to lose her breath and she gets level 2 exhaustion. This does cause her to take a disadvantage on the next 4 saves. Which means she fails all but one of them. She fails, yeah, all but one of them. So, okay. She does take a shot from one of the sentry guns.
Oh no.
She can only phase through twice. She actually takes 2 shots. However, she has a bit of HP.
And temporary HP.
Indeed.
Thank you, David.
13. Okay, that leaves her at 6. David literally saved her.
Yeah.
So, these guns fire at her as she moves through this maze very quickly. She has to sprint, so we're going through that, and she moves through this maze very quickly, finding her exit pretty quickly. But the last hallway just has 3 sentry guns in it, and they fire towards her. You can see she struggles here. She puts the barrier up and hopes that these things pass through her. But you can see she's exhausted from this, and her quirk already takes a lot out of her. They pass through her, but the last one, the bullets just don't come fast enough, and she takes 3 to the chest, causing her to fall over into the water, slowly rising. You can tell Max Man gets ready to save her. However, through the words of a man in the corner, boiling alive slowly, she gets back up, having 6 hit points left. She stumbles back up, breathing hard, before she eventually limps to the green circle. The crowd is not impressed, however. Quite the poor showing. She got all 3 of her questions correct, but she gets a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised she got through that. If I would have rolled a little bit higher, she would have been gone. What a scammer. David, that fool.
Now, I believe the next one.
Is your girlfriend.
Yes.
So, I believe we have. So, this one creates bone bombs. Once again, I described her on the last episode. Part of the friend group here. She is introduced as Bone Blaster. She decided to change her name at the last moment.
What the fuck was her previous one?
I bet you guys don't even remember.
I don't believe I was told.
Cool.
I mentioned it offhandedly.
Ah.
So, Bone Blaster, she is introduced as, and Dream says, no weaknesses on the sheet. Alright. Let's see what we got here. As she exits, she immediately pulls out a bomb. She will use all of her stamina on this one bomb.
Oh, okay.
So she pulls out a giant black bomb that's the size of her torso as soon as anything appears. That's her readied action. What happens is there's a shaking. The ground around her turns into a field. And fuck it, blast. Alright, what's blast resistant? A tank. 3 tanks appear in front of her. To hell with it. That's what Dream makes happen. This liquid forms into three let's say Shermans, because he likes World War II and stuff and ancient history. Sherman. Oh. Alright, all of you settle down. I'm recording. Calm the hell down.
Was that the first thing? Was that the first thing you heard?
Yes, I come back from eating my lunch, and all of them are talking about ability skills and how they become the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Okay. Well, don't even start with that crap, Adams. So,
Adams.
Here's what's up. 3 large Sherman tanks appear in the middle of the arena. Their guns aimed directly at her. Now, she has a very powerful ability. It's called, she has +3 dex and alert.
This bitch gets me. I have a +4 dex and alert.
Oh no. How do I keep doing that?
No.
I keep holding the caps key.
Come on.
12. Oofers. Oofers and deeders. I hope that HP helps you. Sorry.
6 HP that she has
Let's
remaining.
see the tanks.
Okay. Damn.
Well.
That's the one on the left.
All right. Good start. Good start. They have a -3. Okay.
Okay, that's the one in the middle. There's no way. There is no. There's no
Dear
shot.
Lord,
There is no
-2
shot.
And a 0. It is 0. They explode. They explode.
What are
They
the chances
shatter
that I roll
3
that low?
billion
They can get above her pretty easily. She got a 12.
They got a 0. And it
Ah,
made
They
yeah.
actually had to roll a
They had to roll a
16 to actually
16.
go ahead of her. Yeah.
Yeah, but They had to roll pretty fucking high to get not a negative or a 0. Okay.
All of the tanks misfire on their engines.
No, however, they're just really slow. We get a scene inside one of the tanks. 2 of the brothers are piloting, so their wires stick out and begin to control the tank, while the center tank, the one with the -2, the lunch lady's in there, and she's just like, oh, hold on, let me get my, hold on, I forgot my Pantasman, hold on. And she just starts fucking popping pills like it's candy. Alright, Bone Blast here will take advantage of it and create the largest bomb she can and throw it at the center. Hope she doesn't roll below a 10, because that would be bad for everybody involved. By the way, part of her quirk is that she has blast resistance. She's immune to her own bomb's explosions. Except for the damage itself. She's immune to the status effects.
Interesting.
You'll see what I mean in a second. So she has throwing weapon proficiency. She
Ooh,
barely...
just enough.
God damn. Everyone's riding the fucking line today. She pulls out this massive explosive from her back, creates this huge black bomb that has a massive fuse on it, and she, yeet, saying that, throws it in between the tanks. The tanks...
Giant cartoony bomb.
It is literally a giant cartoony bomb. Have you ever played Okami?
No.
So it's basically like a large cherry bomb that is the size of a person.
Goddamn.
It's about 5 feet tall with a long fuse. The tanks will take their turn to move 10 feet backwards. They immediately just begin to pedal backwards.
Something tells me that won't matter.
And they're going to shoot their cannons at her.
The explosion doesn't go off?
No, it goes off on her next turn.
Oh.
Wow! 2 hit. Don't worry, these are not tank cannons.
I figured they weren't. That'd be pretty terrifying. You know, just shooting a... What'd you say these were?
Sherman.
What look like? Sherman?
They're howitzers.
I would hope that they wouldn't be shooting actual howitzers
Oops.
at children.
Hold on. There's more damage than that. I can just add it in. So plus 10. 17 damage. Ooh. Woofers. So, hold on. I think she literally has 0 hit points.
Really, even with the temporary hit points.
Because she
Damn,
has...
they got a high mod.
Yeah, it's plus 5. She's an emitter, but she has tough and David's. So hold on. No, she has 2 hit points. But
Let's go.
she's probably gonna go down if these bombs don't destroy them. There's no possible fucking way. Inspiring Leader has seriously saved these guys. I guess it makes sense though, so many hit points so quickly. One of the tanks passes.
Consider she spent... is it half damage?
Half what?
Is it half damage?
That's wrong, it's 20d8, but it is half damage, yes.
I don't know if it'll matter with, you know, a 20d8
Half of that.
so...
Okay.
I'm assuming the 2 are destroyed, and, I mean, the one's taking 44.
44, it has 30 hit points, so... They're all destroyed. However, there's a bit more of a problem than that. Everything sets on fire. So, she pushes this bomb forwards, throws it, ducks and covers. 2 tank shells hit her. These massive rubber... They're basically like massive rubber mallets. These massive rubber pieces hit her in the stomach, and she is knocked prone. She is not knocked prone mechanically, but she's knocked backwards against the door. She dents the door with her body weight. That's how hard she was hit.
Damn. Okay.
And she gasps for air, holding her stomach. However,
Cole's like, come on.
You can see Cole. She almost passes out from the pain. However, in her eyes, she thinks about David, and she even looks at the black box in the corner. And she remembers the speech that he gave, and how she currently has 0 stamina. Also, level 3 exhaustion. As she can give herself.
Why does she have level 3?
She can give herself levels of exhaustion to increase the bomb's damage. She literally increased that bomb's damage to the max. 20 D8 is her max.
Damn, okay.
And she begins to limp forwards as the fucking heroes. The heroes, the lunch lady especially, they're all like crawling out of the rubble of the tank. 2 of them are unconscious, but the lunch lady is still awake.
She awake? She failed.
No, she was one of the ones.
She?
She's the only one that passed.
That lady is so annoying.
She has 11 hit points, and she says, "No, hold it right there, Sonny." She says, standing up. "You ain't going nowhere."
Did you just call your girlfriend Sunny?
Yeah.
Yep. "You ain't going nowhere. You're not gonna be no hero. Don't you know?" She says, pulling out the taser. "This ain't no place for no heroes." She is going to... Currently, it is still Bone Blast's turn, so she will... run. She will run. Limping her way there, the old woman will chase after her with the taser. She gets to the door and reads on the door that there's a notepad. That's another thing you see consistently, Cole. There's always a notepad next to the door. Not always, but most of the time there's a notepad next to a door with some weird task you have to do on it. Currently, there's a question. And it says... Oof. She does not know. It says the following. What planet is considered the largest of the gas giants atmospherically?
Jupiter.
She doesn't know that.
What? How?
She gets up to this, looks at this, and says, "Ah, hell." She'll take the dodge action.
Oh my gosh.
The old woman will now tase this girl.
She does have disadvantage.
No, it's a con save.
It is a con save, but she passes.
Oof.
However, this old woman, she's gonna just beat her with the end of the thing. So she gets 30 feet from her, tases her. She rips the taser out quickly while shaking her hand, and then the old woman flips the taser around, and is just gonna beat her with it. On her next turn.
I'm pistol whip her with a fucking taser.
Yep. Alright. How many hit points do you think this door has? Let's find out. She puts a bomb right next to it. She grows a smaller bomb and puts it down right next to it. Now, she's betting, because she's seen this every time. Every time there's a pair of doors like this, the green circle is always less than 20 feet away. She's gonna blow herself up now.
Oh, God.
Oh, is she gonna knock back herself?
Yes.
Oh, brother.
Listen, she doesn't have any other ideas. She doesn't have any other ideas. The door is, however, very sturdy, so there's a good chance she doesn't break it. Barely. 43.
Barely breaks it?
40. Once again, you guys are getting really lucky. Multiple 8s is kind of crazy.
Yeah. 8, 7, 8, 8.
She takes that damage. She is unconscious. She will do non-lethal damage to herself. And then she falls down a shaft.
The shaft.
The shaft.
The shaft.
She takes 5 damage. She's at -5. So, the old woman is also knocked backwards. She has to make her thing. The old woman fails. She's unconscious. Punk. So, let me describe this whole event. She throws this massive bomb. There's a huge explosion which rocks the stadium and causes the barrier to crack a little bit before it quickly heals itself over. Then, there's running. She runs past this as this old woman chases her with a taser. She tases her, pulls it out quickly. Then the old woman runs up to swing this pistol at her, the end of this taser, and just gonna smack her with it. But she puts a bomb right at her feet, and she stands against the door and blows it up. She is thrown backwards into a deep elevator shaft where her body ragdolls against the walls before landing in the green circle with a loud
That's crazy.
She's going to be unconscious for 5 days. I'll be right back at it.